guys, welcome back to another chess video on the second channel. Now I've been playing a lot of bullet chess recently, and by a lot I mean a lot, and it's low-key unhealthy. But recently I got to 1000 rating on bullet, and for those who don't know what bullet is, it's basically, well, it depends, there are 3 settings I think, but I'm playing the 1 minute bullet game with 1 second increment. So it's really quick and there's not a lot of time to think deeply about tactics and plan moves and such. So normally there's a lot of funny blunders, but I thought today I'll show you a few games because I thought, okay, I played quite well, and some of the games are what led me to getting that 1000 rating. And this is the first game. So I played e4. He played, I think this is a Sicilian. I developed my knight, and he does that. And normally I like to push this d pawn because if he takes, I think he does, and then I push the c pawn, basically trying to get him to take, and then I can develop another piece. So by this point he would have just had 1 knight, and I have 2 knights and a pawn in the center as well, but he didn't take. He pushed another pawn, so I'd take. This was a little bit surprising, but I can just block with a bishop. He takes, take back, and then just normal stuff. I take, pin his knight, and then he defends. I castle, he castle. I'm not quite sure why I put the rook here. I think just try to triple defend it. Sometimes it's normal, I think, when you play bullet, you make moves and then you can't really explain. At least it's not a blunder. I mean, sometimes it's so easy to blunder. He puts a rook here, put more pressure on this file. I defend my bishop, which I think is a good move. You will later see why that is, but the engine is suggesting me to put the knight here. Now, I think this is the start of his mistakes sequence. So he pushed the pawn here, and I thought, okay, can I just not take? Well, take with a knight, because I think now he miscalculates a little bit. He thinks, okay, we've got knight, knight takes, and then he can take that, and then there's the rook or something. But yeah, he takes, which is a blunder because he miscalculates. So I thought, okay, I can just take, threaten the queen. But now, okay, his bishop is only defended by a rook and a queen, but I have the bishop, queen, and rook. So I just, in the end, I'm up on exchange, and I have two rooks against one. Now, this is kind of a mistake, but the engine doesn't really think so. What I was thinking here was, okay, he's attacking my pawn, I need to go defend it. But actually I don't really need to, because if he takes then, oh, hang on. If I say I can take the pawn, if he takes this, and it's back rank checkmate. So I didn't really need to protect it, but I mean, it doesn't show the clock here, but I might be down on time and didn't think much. Engine doesn't think it's that bad. He pushed this pawn for some reason, just gave me a free pawn. So now I'm like, okay, I can take the pawn as well. Now obviously I can't take this one. So I kept pushing, push. At this point actually I can even simplify it. Even doing that, sacrifice the rook to check him, and then I'll just simplify it, and then I can just keep pushing. But I think, yeah, again, in the heat of the moment you can't think that much. So I just thought, okay, I just keep pushing the pawn. And then I did that, traded rooks. And here, I think, again, in bullet, your brain doesn't work that well. Here I was like, okay, my rook is being attacked, I need to move it. But in reality, I can just promote and the rook is protected. But it doesn't matter because it's still a winning position. And then just kept checking, not in the best sequence, but eventually I got it done. And this one was actually one of my highest accuracy bullet game ever, I think. I mean, 93 is not... You might not think it's that great, but this is bullet, and it's so easy to play inaccurate. So I thought I was pretty happy with this game. And let me show you another. This one was 926 rated. This one is a quick game though. Let's see. So I did E4 again. Response back mirror. This was quite strange. And then it brings the bishop. And I thought, okay, this doesn't really do anything. If my knight wasn't here, then yeah, that would have been a problem. But so I thought, okay, I'll just hop in the knight, attack the queen, and then the queen moves here. Now, this is an interesting thing. The engine wants me to play this, attack the queen. Now, because if I do that, the queen doesn't really have anywhere safe to guard this pawn. So to prevent me hopping knight here to fork. Why is that? Because I think if the queen goes here and I push the pawn, bishop goes back, and then I target the bishop and the queen has to move. Let's say, okay, if the queen wants to keep protection of this pawn here, I take, he'll have to take with pawn, and then I sacrifice the bishop here. Now the queen can't take because that would just be a fork. So the queen eventually just have to... Can the queen go here? Okay, why is that not a good thing? Okay, then I bring out the bishop. So the queen can't guard the square. So eventually he would still be forked. So, but I think I didn't do that. I didn't hop in the knight. I just went straight for the bishop sack. This is a little bit of hope chess, I think, because again, I think he could have just gone back here, and then that would have been fine, I think. But he didn't think that much. Took the bait, and then I forked his king and queen. He attacked my knight, but I think this is another semi-brilliant. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna ignore that, take the pawn, because I'm threatening this. If he takes, then, which he did, and then I forked another piece. So at this point, up 11 points of material, I think, pretty much winning. So I brought out the queen, kind of low-key attacking the bishop. He didn't see it, took the bishop, and he resigned. So the next game I'm going to show you is another short game. At this time, I'm actually in the 1000 rating range. But this is a quick game, and I'm black here for some reason, and I couldn't find out how to flip the board. So here we go. He goes e4, I respond same. This is weird. h4. The engine doesn't like it either. But as always, you're just gonna do what's right and just keep the principal stuff, develop. Bring out the bishop. Yeah, at this point, look, his first rank piece is not moving, just pushing pawns. Pushes yet another one, and I just kept developing. Now he brings out the knight. I hop in, hoping to threaten this and maybe just get him to trade. He didn't do that. Opening the queen to defend that pawn. So I push now. He kicks my knight away. Again, keep pushing the pawn. I take. Now, this is, I think, should be a brilliant. I thought here for like a few seconds, maybe 10. There are not a lot of seconds in a bullet game. Thought, can I just take and sacrifice the knight? Which I did. I just took. He took. Now, because I have this check. Now, when I did it, I didn't really see that much ahead. I just thought, okay, I'll just get a check in and check in like going into a hotel or something. There must be something, a follow-up or something. So I checked him. Only a square he could go is there. And I thought, okay, now I can fork. I can X-ray, skewer, whatever the term is. Get the queen. And I didn't know that was going to be a checkmate. So that was nice. Yeah, because the queen is guarding this square. bishop, bishop, pawn. That was pretty good checkmate, pretty cool. Now, after all the winning games, I thought I should show you a losing game. And still, there's a cool move in this game that I was quite proud of, but didn't really execute until the end. But you will see soon. Again, e4. What was this? French defense. Knight out. Another knight out. Yeah, again, just principle stuff. Develop, push the pawn. Okay, now I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And it's one of those games where the position is very closed, but kept the principles, keep developing, move the queen, push the pawn, try to break apart the blockade there. He moved the knight back, so I just thought, okay, I take the pawn. Don't know why I did that. Could I have? No, I couldn't have taken. I thought, yeah, I'll just stop it to prevent him kicking my knight. It brings the knight back to attack this. I took the free pawn, not bothering trading the rooks because it's guarded, and he takes. Now he takes the free pawn here. Now, this is the brilliant idea. I was quite proud of it. It was rook a8. The idea is obviously if he takes, then I win the queen. But what I didn't see was him blocking with the bishop. Now, there's actually a move. Well, in hindsight, I could have just played this, put more pressure on the bishop, and he would have to either move the queen or something. So that's a check. Well, that's something like that. I didn't see that, so I just thought, okay, I'll kick the knight, took my bishop, and still at this point, I think I could still. It's not my move, is it? He did that. I could have still played this to at least win the bishop, but again, I just didn't see it. I kept moving, and then blundered because again, playing bullet, you don't have a lot of time to think, and sometimes you just do stupid things like this. And gave away a free knight, and I thought, okay, that's gonna be it. And then I think at some point there's another blunder. Ooh. Yes, this. Yeah, I don't know why. I thought, okay, I'll move my queen here, then do something around near the king, but sometimes it's like that when you play bullet. And that's pretty much the. Did he just give a? Yeah, he gave me a knight back for some reason. But then, yeah, still he's up a minor piece. Don't know why I did that. I was like, okay, just take it, give away a queen, and yeah, there's not much to do at this point. So yeah, that was cool idea, sacrificing the rook, but in hindsight, I could have won it, I think. But this is the reality when you play bullet. Sometimes the games are really good, sometimes you play like an idiot. Okay, enough of me being an idiot. I'm gonna show you yet another good game. So again, we start with e4. Now, once again, we have a Sicilian. This time I do push it. Smith Mora. But he didn't take first, so I just kept pushing. Kicked the knight away. Now I didn't trade it at first, just kept developing. He took my knight, so I don't mind this structure that much. Pin his knight. Now he's getting ready to castle. I think that's a misclick. Yeah, I remember that now. That was unfortunate. So he thought probably. Actually, why did he do that? Not quite sure, but I saw the opportunity. Give a check, and it's a good idea to put the bishop here, I think. And my whole plan is to eventually get my queen here, obviously without these two being here, and then checkmate him this square. But obviously can't do it just yet. Yeah, you can see. I was ready to put it there, but obviously I'm not stupid enough to jump in right away. Put the knight here. Yeah, threatening this checkmate. Puts the queen here to defend it. Now, they always say if there's an open file, you should put your rook there. And this is actually, I think, it's a good move. He pushed the pawn, and I go here. Now, he didn't see the idea behind it. I'm threatening the bishop here. Why? You think, okay, the queen is defending it, but then if the queen takes, then this pawn is undefended. He didn't see that, so he took the pawn, and that's a brilliant. But then I didn't see this, and I thought, oh, damn it, okay, I'm losing a rook. But it turns out, not really, because look, the engine is still at 11. The idea is, I don't take with the bishop, I keep the bishop here, I take with the queen. Now he takes the rook, then there's nothing stopping me from doing this. Yeah, you can't save it. There's no saving that. And I think that's exactly what happened. I took with a queen, took that, and I went there and checkmate. See, that's entirely my whole plan from what, move 10 or something, 11. What could he have done? I mean, it's mate in 7, so there's not much he could do. He keep pushing. I go here. Yeah, I have to sacrifice the queen. Yeah, and then I just bring my other rook, I think. So yeah, that was a pretty good game as well. Let's show you one last game. I think this is also a very good game. I can't remember much what happens. Oh, okay, I think I remember. Okay, let's go again. E4, I think my favorite. Another Sicilian. Bring the knight in, now push the pawn. Yeah, you've seen this in the other game. Or was this the other game? No, I don't think so. Develop. Move the queen ready to castle. This is something I like to do lately. Just try to trade the bishop, and then I can get the queen in quite close to the king, which is always a good idea. And then later on, I can bring in a knight, though not quite yet because this knight is guarding that pawn. Anyway, to castle. I think he is attacking the pawn here. I took the knight anyway. Okay, yeah, so my aim is always just push as many pawns as possible, try to break the pawn structure in front of the king. He took here though, so I took with a queen. Now I thought, okay, there's a bit of trouble because he's now threatening to fork me. So I'm attacking at the same time protecting the f2 square. Goes back, but now I think now I can take. Bring in here, threatening checkmate. Did quite a good job. Well, I say that. Tried to block me, but the problem is I have a pawn here and I could just... But I didn't do that because I'm stupid and it's bullet. I think, yeah, the engine wants me to do that, and he can't move the knight because that's just checkmate. So you have to just ignore it. Sacrifice the knight. Oh, spoilers. Sometimes the analysis glitches like that. I have to sacrifice. Can't even take. Ah, okay. Yeah, because there's that. Ugh. And then can he take? No, he doesn't take. Threaten the bishop. Take. Okay, now the knight is hanging. Okay, I see why. Okay, but this is the engine and none of us are that smart. So I thought, okay. I was ready to sacrifice actually, I think. Because I still have quite a lot of material down this side, so I can just sacrifice, take the pawn, and then just go for checkmate. But this obviously wasn't a good idea because now we're back to equal. He kicks me, so I sacrificed. Actually, no, now the engine likes it for some reason. Yeah, the engine approves of the rook's sacrifice. The thing I didn't see was that opened up the queen. And actually, I'm quite surprised why the engine thinks this works. Because now he takes... now I take with his rooks, so I don't lose the rook. Now I have 2 rooks here, I can just go for check. And I check again, now win the rook. Now the engine is suggesting no, that is the right move. And yeah, it didn't do anything. He just gave me a checkmate. Because the knight is guarding these 2 squares and obviously the rook's here. Yeah, what could he have done? Yeah, just keep running. I'll just keep another check. But yeah, this is 4 pieces against 2. Can't win this one, but well, he was about to take the bishop. But yeah, that was my journey into 1000 in Bullet on chess.com. But very soon I dropped back down to like low 900 or even high 800, and that is the reality of bullet chess. So yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching, and hopefully there will be a next video.